And the last speaker of the day would be Emmanuel Monyo, who would be speaking on legume breeding and seed systems for improved livelihood and impact. Dr. Monyo.
It's bigger. So I can go just down, even this up here. Okay, good afternoon, everybody. I'm going to make this presentation on behalf of several colleagues in Sub-Saharan Africa and South Asia who are implementing the tropical legumes project. And I'll touch on legume breeding and seed systems for improved livelihoods and impacts. Tropical Legumes Project is an international initiative funded by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and executed by 4 international agricultural research uh, centers. The first one is the Generation Challenge Program led by CIMIT, which has been executing Tropical Legumes 1, focused mainly on developing advanced genomic tools such as molecular markers to improve stress tolerance, particularly drought, in 4 main grain legumes: groundnut, cowpea, beans, and chickpeas. The second one, the Tropical Legumes 2, is being jointly implemented by ICRISAT, TIAT, and IITA, and again is focusing on breeding improved legume cultivars and improving the grain legume seed systems, and it has been running on from 2007 to 14. And the third one, and currently running, is Tropical Legumes 3, which focuses on cultivar development, seed delivery at scale, and fundamentally strengthening the NAS and CG breeding programs and seed systems, and it's running until 2019. The main goal is that of enhancing the production and productivity in the drought-prone areas of these 2 regions through increasing availability and adoption of improved varieties by undertaking research in 4 key areas. First one being market opportunities, policies, partnerships, and gender inclusiveness. Second one being enhancing productivity and production of legumes in target geographies. Third one being developing sustainable seed production and delivery systems. And finally, building the capacity of NAS and partners implementing the project. Particularly, specifically, we are looking at increasing production and productivity by about 20%, achieving at least 30% area coverage with improved varieties in these geographies, and achieving an annual aggregate value of about $300 million if the project is successful. The project target areas are 4 West African countries: Burkina Faso, Ghana, Mali, and Nigeria; East African countries, Ethiopia, Tanzania, and Uganda; and India in South Asia. Under the Tropical Legumes 1, we have made significant contribution to development of high throughput genotyping and phenotyping platforms, identifying genomic regions associated with resistances to major biotic and abiotic constraints, particularly resistance to major foliar diseases like LLE spot, lead leaf spot, and rosette in groundnut, fusarium wilt, bacterial blight, evidence trigger resistance in cowpea, general improvements in pod harvest index and resistance to mosaic viruses in common beans, and drought tolerance hotspot QTL in chickpea, as you've seen already from Puran's presentation, Alice's presentation, and our colleague from Uttar Pradesh. Variety breeding and on breeding and variety release, during the past 7 years, the project has managed to release more than 177 improved legume varieties in 13 countries. We have worked directly with more than 281,000 smallholder farmers for the past 7 years as part of testing and release. And adoption studies have actually released that farmers are eagerly embracing these varieties, and adoption has occurred as a result of farmer-to-farmer seed exchange, a strong indication that the value of these varieties have been recognized within the rural communities. On seed production and delivery, more than 10 seed production and delivery models have been tested for each of the crops, and several of the models identified useful have been highly effective and efficient with smallholder farmer seed supply, particularly small seed packs, which has been very helpful in disseminating improved genetics to smallholder farmers at affordable cost. Total project was able to produce more than 600,000 metric tons of certified seed that has been distributed to farmers in these geographies in the past 8 seasons. And extrapolation of this seed produced from 2007 revealed that improved varieties are currently grown on more than 2 million hectares, has generated more than $440 million using project resources itself. But when you combine with partner investment, more than $976 million have been generated from the project, directly benefiting more than 11 million smallholder farmers. Now, looking at crop by crop and highlighting some of the benefits accrued, when the project started in 2007, for example, in Ethiopia, only about 250,000 hectares were under chickpea. This has doubled in 7 years. About 200,000 hectares were grown, and it has increased by about 20%. For common bean also, the productivity at national level increased from about 200,000 tons to more than 500,000 tons, with an increase in area of about 20%. In Tanzania, the production of groundnut has increased from about 400,000 tons to about 1.6 million metric tons. That is 300% increase. And then area also have increased by more than 200% with a productivity of about 39% increase. And for cowpea in Burkina Faso, similarly, the production has increased from about 253,000 metric tons to more than 500,000, and an area increased from about 500,000 hectares to 1.2 million hectares, just to highlight some of the successes. On capacity building of the project, more than 37 masters and PhD candidates have been trained and are now scientists in their own right in these countries, and 8 more candidates are in training. A breeding program assessment tool has been implemented for breeding programs using criteria commonly used to evaluate commercial plant breeding programs. And based on the outcome of this evaluation, Target NAS and the CG African hubs have developed and are currently implementing program improvement plans as they implement Tropical Legume 3. In conclusion, we have noticed that market opportunities have had dramatic influence on input use and yields, as exemplified by the great successes of chickpea and common beans in Ethiopia and groundnut in Tanzania and other countries. Farmer participatory variety selection has been very instrumental in identification and adoption of new varieties by farmers, which has led to the release of the more than 177 varieties. We've seen also that new organizational arrangements have been very critical in upscaling seed production, as both formal and informal seed systems require strong partnerships with public agencies and support from policy. In conclusion, again, we have seen that since 2007 until the present, improved varieties have been adopted on more than 2 million hectares, and more than $448 million has been generated from the project funding. And if you combine project funding with partner investment, more than $976 million is expected to have been generated as a result of the project effort. We have calculated that for each of the dollar used in the project, $9 return has been attained when you consider the project achievements itself, and $20 return has been achieved when you consider project plus partner investment. This has been an initiative led by ICRISAT, IITA, CIAT, and the CIMIT Generation Challenge Program. in partnership with 7 NARS in sub-Saharan Africa and in India. Thank you very much.